vanilla people have never squirted. Most of them.
I got that written down right here.
Most vanillas maybe do oral once a year, if that. That's like really stepping out of the box for them.
Oh,
Most vanillas are the missionary position. This is all that we're going to do. We just do it until you come. I don't even necessarily have to come. I'm going to be okay until you come, and then sex is over.
oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I don't like. Don't call me vanilla no more. Talk to.
Is there a certain, again, listen up, fellas, listen up. What does a man has to do to make her squirt? Or is it, again, individual or is it a certain spot that you have to hit, and this spot right here will make her squirt no matter who the lady is?
Right. I teach that. It's from all that I've researched and all that I've seen and all the studies that they've done where they've actually had women squirt under scientific scenarios, and they've measured it. Of all the reading, every female is capable of squirting unless you've had a hysterectomy, a clitectomy, or something else that's damaging to your vagina and your vulva and everything. But it's a matter of being prepared to squirting. You're worried about wetting the bed. You're worried about it being pee. You're worried about all these things for the first time that you can't get aroused enough. You have to be extremely aroused in order to do it. And most of the times we can't get there because we're in our heads.
Now, I want to ask you this. Fellas, we get to talking and shit thinking we know every goddamn thing. And it was a debate one time. But it's really no such thing as squirting. She's just, is it pee or is it cum?
It is not pee. It is cum. It's impossible to pee and squirt at the same time.
So I don't watch porn, but I heard.
I heard it through the grapevine.
I heard that somebody saw that it comes out so because you know what cum looks like. It's thick and it got a little milky to it, and the pee was so thin that it did look like pee. But can that still be cum?
No, not still be. It is cum.
That is cum.
You don't ejaculate pee, but you can't pee and cum at the same time.
Okay.
So it is cum, and it's a lot thinner than semen. So it's a lot thinner fluid. Should be clear. Should have no smell, no taste. It's good to take in your mouth. It has vitamin E and K in it. So
that's a good thing.
Good for your skin. But it wasn't until 1953 that they even said females have orgasm, let alone that we have sex for pleasure.
Because it seemed like that's a new thing, the squirt thing,
exactly.
Like making a squirt, and this has been going on forever.
It's been happening forever. Back in the day, they used to hospitalize. You used to have to go to a mental institution if they found out you were a squirter. They said that it was some demonic that was happening to your body.
How far can one squirt?
Oh, far.
Just give me
as far as a man can ejaculate. I've seen it. I've seen it go between our distance.
All right, your seat to the blue chair. Can that happen?
Yes, I can see that happen easy.
Damn, and that's not pee.
And that's not pee.
So that dude he got to be on that spot like aggressively.
No,
aggressively
intently. Maybe
explain that to us. Explain that to us, rookies.
When I hear aggressive, I hear like,
and that's not sex at all.
And that's like too aggressive.
That's when you're in high school doing that dumb shit.
Right. Versus intently, where it's you're going into the same spot. You're not going out.
Like there has to be like an emotion behind it.
Not really.
No.
Anybody can squirt. You can squirt when you're just fucking. You can squirt. You can squirt when you're making love. You can. Yeah. Anybody can do it. You just have to concentrate on it. And the G spot is within 2 inches and up to the top of the vagina. Feels like the top of your mouth, so it's a real spongy.
Is that the ultimate, when we say women of orgasm, is that the tip top? You made her do that? That's the tip top of orgasms?
They say it is. Now, there's a mega orgasm where literally you can become paralyzed from them. Not too many people have experienced them, but they take over the whole.
Yes, I have. Shit, I got a whole bunch of them in wheelchairs right now. See? But so you said for a minute, but you said paralyzed so you can get up off her ass is just shaking there for about 2 minutes. Yo, I'm gonna do a touchdown dance like a motherfucker. I'll do some shit like that. I'm like, what? Look at you! Can't move, can't you? Night.
Oh my goodness.
So G-spots. Let's talk about G-spots for a second. How in the female body there are many G-spots?
No, there's one G-spot. One G-spot located at the top of the vagina within 2 inches in. So where your finger is to the bend about that far end, and it's to the top of the vagina. And I hold my fingers like this, flat and square to each other, the knuckles flat, because this is the best way to enter a vagina.
Right. Doctors do that a lot.
Right. Do you want to make sure your knuckles not pounding against the mound or hitting against the?
What was the question? Because I heard it. It sounded good, but I heard like she was giving examples, so I want to see those examples too. What was the question again?
She asked if we have multiple G spots.
All right, and what's the answer to that?
No, there's just one G spot. You have multiple spots where you can have an orgasm: C spot, P spot, A spot, and then there's G spot.
Where's the C? Well, where? Explain C, P, and A. What are CPA? Hey, I like that.
C is the cervical. A lot of women don't like to have their cervix manipulated, but some can have orgasms from it. P is the prostate. It is also nicknamed the skin's gland in the female. But we call it like the female's prostates. So that's a P orgasm, and that's really super cool. The cul-de-sac gets that, and it's a strong orgasm as well.
Okay.
And then you have the anterior, where you can just go around the outside of the vagina. That's like the A spot. You're running your tongue around the shape of the A spot. And what was that it? C, and then the G spot. CPA.
Now you did something with your fingers, and so where is it? Where is it when you you did your finger like this, fellas?
So you should have your fingers flat.
Okay, just like the peace sign back in the day.
Right, and your knuckles should be really flat too, so as much as possible.
Am I right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to be able to keep it all flat. You want to enter the vagina from this direction.
Never.
No.
Okay.
So that, because especially with your fingernails, if you go in this way, your fingernails are going
your fingernails
right to the top. Please and clean them.
It is not, for real. No. It's not pleasing, huh, ladies?
It's not gay to get your nails done.
Word up,
it's not. It's sexy.
So we go in like this.
So you go in like this, and you're going in, and basically it's usually for most of us until our knuckle does touch against the outside of the vagina, but you don't want to put pressure there.
Okay.
If you just tilt your fingers up to the top,
it up.
That's where you're going to feel the G spot. And you want to do a come hither motion really slow. You want to do that pressure. You want to rotate your fingers a little bit. If you need lube, this really helps with lube. You should be wet. So if maybe you want to give some cunnilingus and add some moisture to what's happening, she should be wet. The more aroused that she gets, it's helpful to go slower so that she can get there. And just watch for her body language. She's going to be giving you the signals that it's going to be coming. Then you want to start to more intently move your fingers back and forth.
Okay.
All right. I hope y'all caught that Instagram.
Now, you have a whole bunch of events. You had one, sipping paint. What was that? A couple of weeks ago?
Oh, I have those. I have another one of those on Monday. I have them on the 3rd Saturday of every month and the 4th Monday.
And you have one coming up soon, right?
And I have one coming up this Monday.
Yeah, tell everybody where that's at.
It is at Two Truths, which is 1205 North High Street. So it's down past campus. It's a nice craft cocktail bar. It's super cool. You should definitely go.
So it's like with the finger thing. Is these some of the things you do at these events and show people? Is these some of the things you do?
This is what I do at some of the play parties that I have. Using YouTube for an example, if she wanted to experience that, I would ask for, if she didn't have a maid, a volunteer. She would be coupled up with somebody who would give her that experience. And I literally will take somebody's hand and put it in the position that it needs to be, and then step back and they, enter like I'm telling you, and then I'll say more pressure, slower, faster, while they're doing that until we actually get the result we're looking for.
Now, how is the crowd? How is the scene? Is people taking this real serious, too serious? Because you've been here for 5 minutes. You can tell this dude jokes too much and plays too much immature ass. Would I be welcoming something like? I know that, but would I be welcoming something like that? Because in an area like that, I can understand we got to be serious, but I couldn't be too serious. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I would have to be like, has to be some type of fun, right?
It is a party scenario. I will say the serious swingers, they're not giggling. You're not going to see them playing on the sidelines. But what was I saying?
The environment. You're describing me the environment. Like, is it real mature, too mature?
No, it's not stuffy. It's not stuffy. It's more relaxed. It's party going. People are drinking, so they're like chit-chatting with each other. If they know each other, they're catching up with each other. You might be introducing yourself to somebody. It's really like laid back. You're not being judged. People are not,
Why is loving sex
no,
weird? Why do you said it earlier that your family said they think you're weird. Why is loving sex to the utmost to the, like, you may like it 75, I like it 100, but what makes me weird?
Right, I don't know.
What is wrong? What is weird about that?
Because there's so, like, BDSM, people think that stuff is weird. Fetishes, having a foot fetish, people think that that's weird. It's because we judge, which we shouldn't be doing, but it's because we judge each other, and what you're doing is wrong because I'm not doing it.
Right.
Now, I just say if you're not doing it, just mind your business and stay in your own lane and let me do what I'm doing to do best. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way I can know how to be is me.
Right.
Now, I know you're not a man, but do you teach ladies how to ultimately please a man sexually?
Yes, I teach blowjobs.
I
teach humming on balls. I teach manipulating
humming on balls. No.
So you
what is that?
So women look for you to know exactly sexually what men want.
I would say that.
Okay.
I would say that people look at me and assume, and rightly so, that you know what's going to turn somebody on, and you know what's going to work and what's not going to work, and what I should try and what I shouldn't try. Yes.
Now let me ask you a question. When you're giving these seminars and stuff like that with couples and stuff, are women a little intimidated by you around their spouses? And
women love me.
Well, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, we live in Columbus. I'm about to say we in Columbus. I know women is like, yo.
I don't know if it's being a lesbian that they feel more comfortable with me. You know, not that like every lesbian wants to have sex with every female, but I think that they're like, she don't want to have sex with me, so it's I'm safer to be able to share this. And versus men, it's kind of.
So you prefer ladies?
I'm a lesbian.
God damn it! Another one stolen.
I wasn't stolen.
Yeah,
I'm free.
God damn it! was it because you couldn't keep a dude couldn't keep up with you? But that's the reason.
Because I was born that way.
I
remember being 3 and having my fantasies about females.
So it is that way. One could be born this way. One could be down. Do you think being that way made you a little bit more willing to go outside of the box, or no?
No. I think what made me go outside of the box was the sadness of people not having great sex and people spreading diseases that they don't know that they're spreading. I think that's what I really got into it.
Is that more on based of people just, think of sex as just an act and just want to do it and or not just as an emotional as far as that, I mean, to me, that's just a person who don't care about their health, if you ask me. But just the exploration of it and stuff like that. I don't even know. I lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere with it, but I lost it.
All men want to know what's the one thing he has to do sexually to keep his lady?
Oh, it's so individualized. What I like, she might not like.
Okay.
Like I would have to have that conversation with her and try to figure out together what it is that you like.
Do you have couples therapy only to talk about sex with that couple? You give
I
what I'm
do
saying?
Individuals.
Oh, you don't do it together?
Oh no, I do it together.
Okay.
As couples, I do couples together, but I also do individuals. So let's say the wife is saying there's something else and I just don't want to share it in front of him or something like that, then I will consult with one and not the other. Now,
K-Street, you had a question earlier. Now that we're on here, go ahead and ask that.
Right. So I had a friend of mine who is happily married. Says that her spouse complains that he doesn't. She's not performing, as much, basically. When you've been with somebody for so many years, what levels do you have to take as far as your exploitation in sex to continue to be able to enjoy it?
It's work, right? It's a lot of work. You want to keep it fresh. You want to keep it interesting.
Because only but so many positions you can get in 20 years.
Right. And then you
only have but so many holes.
Right, exactly. But it's finding different positions. I do a 16-day, I do a class, it's a couple of hours, but it's 16 days of rekindling. Okay. And it basically is what we call the lesbian deathbed. But straight people have it too. It's like when you're just not having sex for a week and that goes to 3 weeks before you know it, it's 6 months, that kind of thing. So to try to avoid that have sex on the steps. I mean, like if you're able, have sex on the steps, do it on the couch, do it outside, just do something different that's going to shock your partner a little bit and make you feel a little sneaky that you're doing something a little devious, that kind of thing. But kind of wake yourself up that way by doing something different sexually.
Now, everybody always say sex is not everything, but let it be bad, that relationship is probably not going to last, right?
Absolutely.
So what percentage do you put a relationship that sex has something? What percentage would you say sex is importance?
I would probably say about 65%.
Okay.
And I say that because last studies say that 23% of Americans are asexual, which means they're not interested in sex at all.
23%?
So if we look at that
terrible.
percentage, and if you look at the percentages of how you break down that pie, yeah, most asexuals are, because they just, some are, I've had sex before and I just don't want to have it. I'm no longer practicing sex. Mm-hmm. Different than celibacy. Celibacy is...
I'm saving myself.
I'm saving myself. Person. Right. It's kind of like that. It's different than I have no need for sexual pleasure.
Yeah, they're crazy. Kind of thing. Now that's weird.
You think?
That's absolutely weird.
See, and I think for those people it's normal. But I think 65% of people are looking to get into and staying into relationships where sex is good.
Now, I want you to help me with this perception. A lot of women, independent women be like, why can't I do that? Men do it. And I want you to help me to put it into this. I always say, but women, she can't just go around just doing everything a man can do, especially sexually. You just can't. It's one way that you're going to be looked at that I'm not going to be looked at. What do you think about that perception when it comes to sexually, like far as she just want to be in the bar, she wants to single. If she wants to sleep with a different dude every day this week, why can't she without me calling her hoe? But,
right.
So help me. Well, is it? You can help us with this perception. Is it? She is single, right?
I'm an advocate for practice and practice.
I know we heard that earlier. But that's a lot of practice.
And practice makes perfect. I think it's unfair that men are able to do it and women are not able to do it. But we know that's been a long time.
And it's also not contradictory. What's the word I'm looking for?
It's hypocritical.
Hypocritical and biased.
I always said this. A lady asked me that. I said, because what you have is a palace, it's a kingdom. For a man to enter that, it must be more. It has to be something there than us as men, as we really don't be giving a fuck sometimes, and we can do it without a care.
But you have the sword and the ability to lay seed. Why is that no less important than the female?
See,
like, why is it okay for you to waste your seed? That just, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not okay for me to put myself out there.
So that is not a cool perception, a reception to have, to think as one as, well, that's a hoe for doing that, and as a guy, it's cool for me to do things like that. You don't. A hoe is
usually a hoe because she won't sleep with you.
Huh?
A hoe is usually a hoe because she won't sleep with you.
Okay.
That's usually when you get called a hoe. It's when that one guy that you're saying no to is like, well, then you hoe. I wasn't a hoe when you wanted to sleep with me. Right, exactly. Now I'm a hoe because I'm turning you down. So. Right.
Okay, fellas, y'all heard that.
It is. It's an unfair two-way street.
Physical attraction. Can there be orgasms with just like a physical attraction? No foreplay, none of that. Just into spaces, with a person that you really have that attraction to. Is that possible?
It is possible. It's possible to just look into each other's eyes until you get so aroused you have an orgasm. It's possible to breathe on each other. It's possible to just hover your hands over their body. You can do a whole bunch of different things. When you're in tune.
Women by themselves, and I'm not talking about actually putting their finger in. Is there certain things they can? Do y'all have that gift? Y'all can just nut off just thinking, or have an orgasm off just thinking, or
I think we do it faster by ourselves than with a mate.
Superwomen rub the lips together without us seeing or something like that. I don't know. No, I heard a female say one time that she's able, when she's sitting down, she's able to do this and she has an orgasm off that. How true is that? How possible is that?
It is very possible, especially if you have an extended clit, or you can feel your clit through the pressure that you're putting. If you squeeze your thighs together right now, you should feel a little bit more pressure between your legs than when you're relaxed. It's like Kegels, which is why a lot of times people don't like to do Kegels, because you get aroused and then it feels like you're doing something wrong. But yeah, if you squeeze your legs together and you're already aroused enough and you keep doing that, it's kind of like the same thing as if somebody was doing your clitoris like that.
Oh, okay. Now, what is the craziest thing you either at one of your events or somebody has asked you that just totally just like, yeah, this is crazy right here?
That's totally asked me something so crazy. I think it would be pegging.
Okay.
Pegging is when a female tops a male, and he was asking me why the pegging, why it wasn't pegging with the female. Why is it anal sex with the female, but it's pegging when the female tops the male? And of course, everybody thinks that's gay, but that's not what gay is. When the female tops a male, it's called pegging, something totally different.
Pegging?
Yes.
What's that?
It's when the female tops a male.
Oh, give him head?
When a female straps on a dildo and has sex with a man in his butt.
Absolutely not. Okay.
I understand what you said, Deborah. Yeah, he's gay.
No, that's not being a gay.
He wants a dildo in his butt and he ain't gay?
No, gay sex is two men.
I know, but that the dildo is the shape of the penis, right?
A prostate orgasm is the equivalent of squirting for men.
I understand.
You should try it.
We'll just
who? What?
You should try it.
All right,
you should try it before you're not. If you want to have great orgasm, if you want your toes curling, your eyebrows flying off your face,
I'm cool.
Then you should try it.
And it ain't never gonna happen then. You know, yo, Deborah,
I can coach you through that. I can walk you through that process.
I completely understand that, Deborah, and I am so happy that you are willing to do that. You know, for a dildo to get my butt, but that ain't gonna happen. And I don't understand how you can walk out of that and be like, "Don't be gay,"
because you're not gay. You don't want to go have a man do that to you.
It's a penis, a rubber one in your butt, but
it's a sex toy. If you think of it like that, then it's just something you're playing with.
I'm willing. What's my next question?
Sex toy.
I'm trying to make you feel better about it.
Yeah, Kit Kat. She said, "Fam, if your girl wanna, put it in your butt, you won't be gay." We heard what's Dwayne Wade? What's his wife's name? Gabrielle Union. And people thought because she wanted to kiss him there, lick him there, that he's gay. That's not gay.
That's not gay.
But some people do.
I don't think a man should be having a lady playing with their butt.
Because I've heard of stuff like that, and I'm not interested in people like that. But I'm just saying, to me, it's a little weird.
Because you're not taught that. You're not taught that playing with your anus is as pleasurable as playing with your vagina and your penis.
Well, for a woman, it's different, but for a man,
why is it different?
You playing with y'all females playing with their butthole, that's fine.
See, why?
We can't be playing with our butthole.
That's like saying lesbians are great, but gay men are not. Why? That's you're being hypocritical.
Now you're reading my mind.
No.
Now you hear it, Deborah.
That's a terrible way.
I wish we can get rid of all of them, but keep y'all.
No way. That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. Makes all the sense.
Disagree with that.
Especially if he ever had coochie. How have you had coochie? All right, that's a whole.
That's terrible way to think.
It's not.
It is. All of those.
I understand why you wanna be with another one. I understand it. Why these two men are sword fighting in the corner? No, I don't understand it.
They're not sword fighting. You don't understand what their sex is, so you think that
put it in the butt. I don't put it in the ear. I don't care.
It's not just that. It's emotions. They're also sexually attracted to each other. There's a whole bunch to it. You can't just.
Just like your average
somebody said,
relationship
let's
with
take
a
all the
man
black
and a
people and
woman.
put them over there. And
what?
Then
No, it's not the same thing.
How can you pick and choose what is?
I don't know. That's what I like to say. I wasn't on men. 2 women is awesome. 2 men is
terrible, but
it's not.
We were raised this way. We were raised that this is where you have sex, which is why it's so weird. Everything else besides missionary is weird. Anything else you try is freaky. Doggy style is freaky because we're never taught that. Parents teach you how to have fellatio. So you're guessing it on your own as you're going along. You're learning your likes, your dislikes, and what you want to try on somebody else. And it's all very individualized. What becomes weird, and what's normal, what's not normal, what you would watch, because gay porn is has one of the largest audiences out there.
Right.
And
watch 2 women. You don't need to be watching 2 men.
There is. I watch 2 men all the time.
And that does something for you?
It's very erotic. But watching people have sex weird is very erotic.
Watching 2 women for me do the same thing, so I understand, I guess.
Okay.
So the event coming up, what's going to be going on? Are we painting nipples? What are we doing here?
No, it's you're just painting a nude model. So the model's nude. We stay dressed, and you're just painting a nude model. It's a 2-hour event.
Okay, so you pick out the models. It's a field for this. How does this go?
I get a lot of people who want to volunteer because they hear what I do and they want to volunteer and they want to do it because it's also fun.
Does it do something for them? Do they get off?
It kind of gives you power, you know. You're sitting there and allowing these people to gaze upon you for this long. I mean, you know, it's up to 22 pairs of eyes in the room, and they're all looking at you. You know what I'm saying? So you have that power to be able to sit there and control.
Why you call me vanilla?
So vanilla is the basic ones, and strawberry is what we would consider, you know, a little bit more freaky.
No, strawberry is something she just made up.
Oh, okay. I thought it was really.
Vanilla.
Okay, good. I ain't say that
vanilla
shit outside.
How about that?
Vanilla is just an industry term for people who aren't into doing stuff outside of the box.
So you want to take you are in the business of turning vanillas into strawberries. But hold on. That's what you want. If you can turn the whole world into a strawberries, you consider that mission accomplished.
Yes, I would. We'd all be playing together in the sandbox.
I'm not saying that I don't mind.
That we should be walking around freely, naked, and all that type of stuff.
I think so. I think that we shouldn't be restricted as much as we're restricted. I just think that we would have been.
But that's just a person who is comfortable with the skin that they're in, and doesn't mind, you know.
Right,
who they are,
right?
You know, and from their community and peers, whatever the case may be, they're not sheltered. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does make a big difference. I think that it's you know, you got to be, you know, wanting to do it and be. But a naked party, I love that idea. Or a party where everybody comes and gets undressed and just wears a towel. I mean, the ground is even. Everybody's wrapped in a towel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're all uncomfortable together. So you start to whisper to each other about what you might be experiencing. And next thing you know, you're in the corner kissing.
Oh, wow.
That's type. That type of party I go to. This sounds like a nice little party right there.
You can't just do that with anybody.
Gotta have safe conversations, and I did.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go next. Yeah. Let's talk health now. Let's talk health and health wise. What do you do at these events, and how much throughout everything you do you preach health?
100% of the time, safe sex is sexy sex. Mm-hmm. You've got to know your status. And that's just not one test a year. That is getting yourself tested every 6 months, because you could test negative and then test positive within 6 months. So within that 6 months period, you've been infecting people. So this is why we can't catch up on what's happening as far as the virals that are spreading around. You might not even know you have it because you just got a negative test, and you do indeed have it.
Now, what do you say to those women that say they're allergic to latex and things like that? What do you say to those women? That's fine, but you can still stay protected this way.
Right. There are condoms that are latex free that you can use. You can make a condom out of a sandwich bag if you were that so impressed to be able to do that. But there's so many things. Again?
You can make one out of a
sandwich bag. But there's so much. There's so much on the market right now that you can do for sensitivities, for allergies, and all of that. There's a condom out there for you.
Condoms for everybody. So it's no excuse.
It's no excuse. Absolutely. Carry your own condoms all the time for sure, because you don't want anybody poking holes in your condoms. That still happens.
Wow.
You want to make sure that you're using a water-based lube that's not going to wash away the pesticides and that kind of thing. But just being safe all the time.
Is it a brand that you can never fail with? This brand that you recommend for people?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a particular brand over any other brand. I even use, like, Equitas Health has a community center called Mosaic, and they have their own condoms. You know, it's the same kind of product if it was Icon or Purex or whoever. So it's the same.
Oh man, Deborah, I think we learned so much tonight. I want to thank you so much for coming through. Again, tell everybody where they can go find your work at, and again, the next event that's coming up.
Awesome. You can find me on Twitter at Shady on Top, and on Facebook at Shady on Top. My next event is Monday. It's a sip and paint nudes, but the next one after that is March 16th, the third Saturday of the month.
I forgot to tell you, I love the logo. I didn't know what it was at first. so I think it was like 2 days ago. The titties! Oh, those are titties! Wow, those are titties, purple titties. Yeah. So that.
Lord help him.
So
yes, he is. Help him.
So the next event, one more time. Play one more time.
So Monday, the The Sip and Paint. It's Monday the 25th. The next one is March 16th.
And what goes on there? What exactly goes on as a Sip and Paint?
Painting that, like it's a nude figure painting class. You just paint the.
Is it just the model, or can somebody just come paint and be like, I would love to do that, and able to get naked and have, you know, do that?
Yeah, no, it's just a Sip and Paint. The party, the adult recess, is a party that I throw where you can get naked and get painted on and paint other people. I just had one of those.
Yeah, what goes on at adult recess?
An adult recess is kind of like a vanilla play party.
She looked at you with that
vanilla.
She looked at you with that strong eye.
It's somebody who wants to explore the swinging scene, or they want to explore what it's like to be out and about. But it's a little, you don't necessarily have to have sex. It's a lot of voyeurs that want to come and just watch what's going on. Mm-hmm. So we have burlesque performers, fire spinners. You can get painted on or paint people that we have like models. Everybody's like nude, all those people. We have BDSM space where you can go in and get spanked or get flogged, or we're going to have cupping the next time that we do it, which is super, where they put the fire in the cups and suck it out of your bag. Super cool. So we just try to get people to explore things they haven't seen before and step outside of their box.
So thank you so much. Go to her page again. Tell everybody where the page is.
Shady on Top.
Shady on Top. You can't forget that. Thank you so much, Deborah Shade.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show.
And thank you everybody for tuning in. Coming up next is Straight Up Radio. Thank you, y'all.
Yeah. All right, y'all heard it best. Be back next week. Make sure.
Telling me how much you're in